Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar this side. Welcome back to Chemistry Universe once again. And this is the part 11 of the aldehyde and ketone series. We have one more very important reaction here, and that's called the Claisian ester condensation. So in this reaction, and this reaction is similar to aldol, but of course there are some obvious differences. There are a lot of similarities. Here you use esters which have alpha hydrogen. Just like you used aldehydes and ketones there with alpha hydrogen, here you use esters with alpha hydrogen, and they would lose a proton and form a carbanion, and they will attack the so-called carbonyl carbon. It's actually an acyl carbon, and so we will see the details here. So basically, it is similar to aldol but different also in several ways. So let's get on with the video. All right, so here we begin. And when an ester with alpha hydrogen is treated with sodium ethoxide and the resulting mixture is acidified, then a beta keto ester is obtained. So what you basically get is you use two molecules of an ester. Remember, they must have an alpha H, and you use a strong base like ethoxide, and you get something like this. Okay, you get a beta keto ester. Now let's understand how this is formed. Now it's quite similar to aldol, and that is that this H is going. This is that carbon. So the CH3 has lost an H, and then it must have attacked another molecule of this at this point, and but this OET must have left, which is why you get this. So let's check this out first. As I said, similar to aldol. The first difference from aldol is that the alpha hydrogen of an ester is less acidic than that of aldehydes or ketones. So dilute OH minus is not employed here. So as you can understand, the esters do have less acidic H than aldehydes and ketones. That's because the lone pair of OR is in resonance with the C double bond O. So it's already the C double bond O is in resonance. So its ability to resonate with the carbanion will be less, which is why it is less acidic than an aldehyde or a ketone. So for that reason, you need a strong base like alkoxide rather than a hydroxide. All right. A stronger base such as alkoxide ion is required. The second difference from aldol is that in aldol, nucleophilic attack leads to addition, but in Claisian condensation, nucleophilic attack leads to substitution, which is typical of acyl compounds. So I'll explain that once we see the mechanism. And step one, well, this is the ester. As you can see, I've shown the alpha hydrogen separately. You have a strong base. It's a reversible step and picks it up. Carbanion is formed. In the step two, this carbanion is now going to react with this ester. Now remember, in aldol, what used to happen was, if this was, let's say, CH3COH, and if you had a CH2 negative COH, now this used to attack here and this used to go here, and then eventually this would get protonated. You got a beta hydroxy aldehyde, remember? So that's an addition reaction. One thing is getting added to this carbon and one thing is getting added to the oxygen. Here, it is going to be a substitution. So what happens is, this attacks this carbon, this goes up, but it doesn't stay there because it has a OR group where O is electronegative atom, and therefore it can leave, and therefore this leaves, and so you get a nucleophilic substitution rather than a nucleophilic addition that you saw in aldehydes and ketones. And this is very typical of acyl groups, and you get this. But the problem is, you're also getting this. Now remember, ideally, it is base catalyzed, right? So we have this and it is getting produced at the end. It's absolutely fine. But this H is quite acidic because this negative anion can resonate on both sides. So what happens is, and this is a strong base. So what happens is, the strong base picks up this proton. So it doesn't stop the reaction here. What happens is, you have this forming intramolecular proton transfer leading to this anion and this alcohol. So the first problem is you're not getting the product that you wanted. Secondly, the problem is that the alkoxide that was produced at the end, which was supposed to be used as a catalyst, is not getting produced. So what is happening is that you wanted a product in which you got a beta ketoester. You are getting an anion here. So that's one problem. Second problem is the alkoxide, which was used in the beginning, was also getting produced at the end. But due to the intramolecular proton transfer, the alkoxide became alcohol, and therefore the alkoxide is lost. All right. So you need a step 4 where you need to add an H plus, and then you get this. So remember, to get the beta ketoester, in the end, you need to add H plus so that the carbanion can take the H plus. Now, as you would notice, successful Claisen condensation requires an ester with 2 alpha H rather than 1, and an equivalent amount of base rather than a catalytic amount of base. Very important to understand. Because remember, we started with this guy, right? Now, it lost a proton in the first step. Then again, it lost a proton to alkoxide. So it needs to have 2 hydrogen for the reaction to occur. If you just check the mechanism, you notice that the reaction doesn't stop here. The reaction doesn't stop here. It has to go forward because strong acid and strong base are reacting. So, if it didn't have 2H, if it only had 1H, this would be in equilibrium with this. So you won't get the product in a good yield. So what basically happens is that you need a minimum of 2 hydrogens on the ester. And that too, as I said, the ethoxide that you've added, which was supposed to be a catalyst, which is supposed to get consumed and produced at the end, is getting consumed. And therefore, you cannot use a catalytic amount. You need a good amount of it. Now, when 2 different esters are reacted, it's called a mixed Claisen ester condensation, as expected. And it is preferred to therefore have only 1 ester with alpha H, otherwise you'll get multiple products. So say, for example, try this. So you have ethyl acetate and you have ethyl benzoate. And I want you to pause the video now and make the product on your own. Use the mechanism if you want. So here is the answer. The product would be this. Because remember, the carbanion is lost from here. And this fellow has 2 alpha H, so not a problem. You can get it. Now, I use ethyl acetate, then I use ethyl formate. Again, you can see only 1 has alpha H. So again, so remember, this one is this one always. So whichever is losing that alpha H, the one that is having the alpha H would remain intact as an ester. The other one loses this. So this guy is going to lose this, whereas this will have this intact, and you will get this product. Try with this. So ethoxide. So of course there are 2 esters, and but you have only 1. You are taking 1 equivalent of both. So 1:1 ratio. So obviously this will lose its alpha H, and in the end it will lose 1 H and get 1 more H. So this will eventually remain intact. Whereas here, one of the CO gets attacked and one of the OET would go. So you would get something like this. So I want you to make the product on your own and check whether you're able to get this. Use the mechanism if you can. And then I have this, again a diester, and you have alpha H on both sides. Now with ethoxide I get A, and then I do the hydrolysis, I get B, and then I heat it, I get C. So I want you to figure out what is ABC. So take your time, pause the video, take your time, make the product. It's not important to do it quickly. You have to take as much time as it is required for you. So here is the answer. So what will happen is this will form the carbanion, right? And since it itself has an ester in the molecule, and it can form a stable ring, it will form a 6-membered ring, as you can see. This will go up, this will come down, and this will go. So this carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so let me make a 6-membered ring first. Then I'll explain how it is done. Now let this carbon be this carbon, okay? So what does it have? It has a COOET intact. And this carbon is attached to this carbon. Let that be this one. And this will become a double bond O. Can you see I get a beta keto ester? So the A would look like this. Now I do H3O plus. So what do you think will happen when I do hydrolysis of an ester? Acid catalyzed hydrolysis of an ester. You've done this in alcohols. So when I do an acid catalyzed hydrolysis of an ester, it will become acid. Base catalyzed hydrolysis can occur, it will become carboxylate ion. Here it becomes carboxylic acid. And what do you think will happen when I heat it? Remember in alkenes we did this. Beta keto acids on heating will simply lose the CO2 of the carboxylic part and become the ketone. You get cyclohexanone. And this intramolecular Claisen ester is also known as the Dieckmann condensation. And that would be the end of Claisen ester condensation. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and watch it as many times as you want. Pause it and see whether you're able to understand the mechanism. Everything it's all about the mechanism. If you can remember the mechanism, get the mechanism right, you can make almost any reaction happen. So with that, this is Kalyan Kumar signing off. Have a wonderful and great day, and thank you for watching this.